So hello everyone, I Raghvendra Singh welcomes you all in this channel. So today we are going to discuss about friction, and I will also discuss about moment of inertia, center of gravity. If I can, then I will definitely discuss, because I don't know how long this video will be. So let's start with friction. So what is friction? If someone asks, then what is friction? How we will define it? We can define that it is the kind of resistance force between two bodies. That body can be solid means like this pen. This body can be solid, and also it can be fluid. Okay, so we can write that it is the resistance. It is the resistance. It is the resistance force between two bodies. And that body can be resistance force between two bodies that can be solid or liquid. Be solid or liquid also. Sorry for disturbance. Or liquid also. Okay, now there's also types of friction. So I have division short friction. I do not want to write complete. So I hope it is visible or it is something blur. So as I have told you, type can be dry or fluid. So these are two types of motion. Or definition of friction we can also write like, when body is in motion, frictional force developed. We can also say when body is in motion, then friction force developed. Okay, and now we will study about coefficient of friction, which is denoted by mu. Coefficient of friction. We denote it generally by mu. So what is this? So what is coefficient? We can say that we have body, suppose, and this is rough surface. If this is rough surface, if we are applying P force from this side, and always just हमें हमेशा ध्यान रखना है कि coefficient means friction always applied opposite side to the motion. Means body, we are applying force this side, so body will move this side, right? So friction will apply this side. Okay, so this will be friction, and here normal will apply, and this will be weight of body. So this will be weight of body. Okay, and I can write definition if I want to write, then I can write when force applied overcomes the maximum frictional force overcomes the maximum frictional force mean impending motion. And we know that maximum friction is directly proportional to n, and I can write it f max is equal to, if I will remove it, then I can write mu into n. So if we want to find mu, then f max upon n. Okay, so if we will go by definition wise, then there is also three types of friction, that is static friction, then limiting friction, and then comes kinetic friction. So firstly, let's study about static friction. That is denoted by mu s. S means static. So what is static friction? Static friction, we can say that when body is not in motion and does not tend to be motion, means this is in impending motion. I can write that when body is not in motion, when body is not in motion and does not tend to be motion, means I can also write this, it is kind of impending motion. Okay, here P is greater than F of max. Sorry, P is less than F. P is applying force, where applying force is less than by friction. Okay, now let's move on to the limiting friction. Even definition says itself that what does it mean by limiting. Limiting means यही तो होता है कि we are applying force and the friction just it is tend to move, just friction is opposing it. So limiting friction means a body which is in equilibrium and now on the state of motion, now on the state of motion, which is limiting equilibrium, which is limiting equilibrium, condition. So here I can write condition of maximum friction, exists. If we will draw a diagram, this is P equal to F maximum, diagram between F of t, F maximum. Well, diagram doesn't matter. So now let's discuss about kinetic friction. So kinetic friction means here the body is in motion and frictional force is offered by the surface in the contact. Kinetic friction means here the body is in motion, and frictional force is applied by the surface, and formula of this is mu k is equal to friction of kinetic upon n. Okay, so now let's discuss about the laws of frictions. Laws of friction. Okay, now we will study about laws of friction. There are some certain laws. So first law is, which I have already told you, that frictional forces are tangential force. Frictional force is a tangential force. Frictional force is a tangential force and acts opposite direction of the motion, and always acts opposite direction of the motion. Okay, acts opposite direction of the motion, which I have told you. Suppose we have this diagram, then if we are applying force P, then the friction will be from this side. Okay, and the second law is, second law is that the body will have the frictional force. We know that body will have the frictional force, and it will adjust itself till then the limiting frictional force do not applied. Okay, so do I need to write? Simple, I can write that all body have frictional force. If it is in rough surface, all body have frictional force. So पता नहीं क्यों मुझे लिखने बहुत आलस आ रहा है. So please try to understand that this is friction. So all body have frictional force. It will adjust itself. It will adjust itself till then the limiting frictional friction do not apply. So it was the second law. And third law is, and also let's discuss about what is limiting friction. So limiting frictional force is equal to normal, which I have told you. We will remove it, then we will get mu. And the third law can be that when the external force, means this force, and the external force, that was P, when the external force overcomes the limiting frictional condition, it experiences a kinetic friction. Means when the force is applied, then if body will be moving, then it will apply the kinetic friction. Okay, when it is kinetic friction, means P is greater than F max. Okay, and now the fourth law, we can say that frictional force is independent of area and dependent type of surface. Yeah, we can say that frictional force is independent of area, but dependent on type of surface. Like that surface can be rough, very rough, smooth, type of surface. Okay, So now we will study about angle of friction. Angle of friction. So angle of friction, we can write that it is the angle made by the resultant and the normal resultant of the limiting frictional force and the normal reaction. Okay, what I am saying that suppose we have a body that is mass m, and we know if we will draw FVT, then there will be weight and we are applying force P, and this will be in rough surface, and here if we are applying force in this, then friction will be this side, and normal will be here. So what I am saying that the angle of friction will be resultant and the limiting frictional force and the normal force. Resulting frictional force means this is frictional force, so here this will be angle of friction. This is resultant, this is angle of friction. I can also write definition here that it is the angle between this normal angle between limiting frictional force, limiting frictional force or normal force. Limiting frictional force or normal force reaction. Okay, and suppose we have to find the resultant, then there is also formula of finding the resultant is that is F max square plus n square. F max square plus n square. Okay, this is the formula to find the resultant, and mu s is equal to F max upon the static friction upon n, and phi is equal to tan inverse of F max upon n. So please remember this formula because this will be come in use when we have to find angle. Most of the time we will use this formula, tan inverse of F max upon n. We can also write tan phi is equal to F max upon n. Okay, so now let's discuss the cone of friction. Okay, so what is cone of friction? When the direction of the force is changed by the rotating it through 360 degree, then the resultant also rotates and makes a right circular cone with the angle of 2 phi. Wow. Okay, so I can write that when the direction of force is changed, when the direction of force is changed by rotating it through 360 degree, then the resultant also rotates and makes a right circular cone with the angle right circular cone and make the angle of 2 phi. Okay, suppose we have this weight W, and we are applying force P. Here it is normal, so in the cone this will form a cone kind of this. So this is phi, this is phi, so this will be whole 2 phi. It is time to, I am trying to say this is resultant. Okay, yeah, so let's move on to so let's see about angle of inclination. Angle of inclination. So it's very simple. You all have studied in 12th class that when we apply, when the body, suppose this is for this is a body mass m. If it is inclined, if this we will just make it in upper side or upper thoda or upper, then it will be slipping automatically. So we are not applying any force. So that is called angle of inclination, means it comes automatically downside. Okay, so I can write that this is theta, this comes from this side. So I can, in theory, I can write maximum angle of inclination, maximum angle of inclination, angle of inclination of plane with the horizontal, of plane with the horizontal surface on which a body cap start moving. A body cap start moving. Without any application of force. Without any application of force. I hope you have understood whatever I was trying to explain you. Now let's do one question. Okay, so we have example that a block of 1500 Newton, a block of 1500 Newton is kept on a rough horizontal, horizontal surface, and given is mu of static is equal to 0.3 and mu of kinetic is equal to 0.1. Force P is applied and force P is applied. यहाँ पे बहुत थ्योरी थी, so I'm just writing the main points only. So we have given a diagram, and this is 1500 Newton block. Okay, so this is the friction, the surface, and here it is given P. Okay, angle is 30. So we are applying P in this direction, then obviously this will move in this direction, so F max will be in this direction. Okay, also sorry not need, so हमें खास करके जब डायग्राम एक तरफ दिया होगा और we should first of all draw the FBD of, suppose this is block A, of block A. So 1500, sorry again I do not write this. This is W downside, and this was given P 30 degree, and this is angle of friction This is angle of friction, sorry, this is maximum friction. Okay, and here we will apply, and here normal force will be applied, and that's it. Now let's one more thing, that if any force will be in incline, that we have to solve that force. This force is this P force is inclining, so we have to solve this. So how we solve that, in which I have told you already, in x-axis here will be P cos 30 degree, in y-axis here will be P sin 30 degree. Okay, yeah. So now we have solved just everything. Now what we have to do is, now we have to apply condition of equilibrium. Condition of equilibrium. We have to apply condition of equilibrium. What is condition of equilibrium? First of all, summation of f of x is equal to 0. So like we have to see how many forces are applying in x or in y. So we can see here two forces are applying in x, that is, so यहाँ पे हमें ये भी लिखना होता है कि if forces I am considering forces are right side, then I am considering as positive, or left side as negative. So f of x, so this is p cos 30, it is positive, I will consider, and it is left side, so minus f max. Okay, is equal to 0. So this is the first equation, and now summation of f of y is equal to 0. Summation of f of y is equal to 0 means how many forces are in y? 1 2 3 forces are applying in y direction. So यहाँ पे भी हमें लिखना पड़ता है that if forces are upper right, then I am considering it as a positive, means this plus n and this plus p sin 30, and minus 1500, minus w means minus 1500 is equal to 0. Okay, yeah. So we know that sin 30 is 1 by 2, right? So n plus p by 2 is equal to 1500. So this is equation number second. Or I can also write cos 30 is root 3 by 2, right? So see this is f maximum. We know the value of f maximum. How can we find? We know that f maximum, means friction maximum, is equal to mu upon n. So we have to find this. Mu is 0.3. Okay, mu is 0.3. Sorry, f maximum upon n is equal to mu s. Okay, this is f maximum upon n is equal to mu s, and mu is given, that is 0.3. So what will be f maximum? F maximum will be 0.3 n. Okay, so I can put in place of this, it is 0.3 n. So for p cos 30 is root 3 p by 2 is equal to 0.3 n. Okay, yeah. So now what I am thinking is that I can find the value of p from here, right? Then after I can replace it here, then I can find the value of n. Let's see. And now I have two options to solve it. This is first equation and this is second equation. I can solve it by elimination method. Now I hope that you all know that what is elimination method. Elimination method is, here is root 3, then this term I will make it equal to, I will multiply it by root 3, and this here will be root 3 by root 3 p by 2, and I will subtract it, then this to this will cancel, then here will be only n term. So here will be only n term, so 0.3 minus n, and then after I can easily find out. So after finding, I have solved it already. So what we will get is n is equal to 1278.548 Newton, and P is equal to, after finding the n, we will put the value of P, here. So n is equal to 1500 minus P by 2. 1500 minus P by 2. So P is this 1278.548. If we will divide by 2, then 6 plus 3 plus 9.274. okay, 15 minus 600, it will be 900 approximate. So n will be 900 and something. Okay, yeah, so not 900, here will be also 2n, then 2n is equal to 900 something, and n is equal to, here will be exact 442.9. बिकॉज यहाँ पे हम ऐसे सीधा नहीं कर सकते ना, p माइनस 2 ऐसे नहीं कर सकते, पहले 2n प्लस p by 2 फिर लेंगे, देन आफ्टर वी कैन डू दिस. ओके, सो दिस विल बी n, दिस विल बी p, so this will be p, this is p. Okay, Newton answer. Okay, so there are some more topics, means I have discussed all topics of friction, but some more questions I need to practice. Actually I do not have as such time, so I'm just moving on second topic, that is center of gravity. Center of gravity. So what is center of gravity and what is centroid? So basically center of gravity used for 3D and centroid is used for 2D. Okay, and centroid is used for 2D. So let's discuss about the centroid first. So here in centroid we will be given some shapes, that first we are considering as rectangle. So it is y-axis, it is x-axis, and height is h. It is h by 2. From here to here it is b by 2, and this whole is b. Okay, so what I did is, this is point C, so it is x and it is y. So main चीज़ is हमें पता होना चाहिए कि सेंट्रॉइड कैसे फाइंड आउट करते हैं. सेंट्रॉइड इज द मेन थिंग. सो सेंट्रॉइड हियर विल बी x is equal to b by 2 and y is equal to h by 2. Okay, so need to remember this for center. And we know that what is the area of rectangle. Area of rectangle is base into height, right? Okay, so now let's see, I can draw the line also. Now let's see, about triangle. Second is triangle. So there is x-axis, this is y-axis, there is x-axis, and there is y-axis. It is triangle. So suppose here is the point, then this will be y and this will be x. So here this point will be h by 3, here to here this will be h by 3, and this will be p by 3. Okay, so remember that this is complete p, this is complete h. So remember here x is equal to b by 3, h, and y is equal to h by 3. Remember this is for triangle, and area we all know that area is equal to half of base into height. Okay, now let's move on to the semicircle. So x and y, so this to this, and here we are drawing the line. So this is radius, so this is 4 by 3 pi. So here remember that this is r, here to here, this complete will be radius, this complete will be diameter, and this will be only radius. So here x is equal to radius only, and y is equal to 4r by 3 pi. Okay, and we all know that the complete circle area is pi r square, and the semicircle area will be pi r square by 2. It's very simple. Okay, for example, like suppose we have radius here 5. So what we will do that here x will be simply 5, but y we will put here 5, then 5 4s are 20 upon 3 pi. This will be y. Okay, I hope you have understood. So now let's discuss about quadrilateral. Fourth is quadrilateral. So quadrilateral, how it looks, x and y, it is something like this. So it is x and y. So here simply x is equal to y is equal to r, means x and y both will be r, and we know that area is equal to pi r square by 4. Okay, so oh sorry, here it is quadrilateral. So x is equal to y, it will be equal to 4r by 3 pi. Okay, and this will be for now is circle, complete for circle. Suppose this is x and y, so here x is equal to y is equal to radius, and we know area is equal to pi r square. The circle of area is equal to pi r square. Now here is also a pattern which we need to know, that how we will make pattern. First of all, we will this part, then after area, then after x, then after y, then after ax, then after ay. Okay, and finally when after this we have to find x bar. X bar means summation of a of x upon summation of a, means this summation of ax जितने भी आएगा ये, फिर summation of a also. Summation of a means this area, summation of a means area. Okay, same with y bar is equal to summation of ay upon summation of area. Okay, so right now actually I want to just make video, but I am truly very tired. Just you can see time is around 11:35. So it's 11:34. So now I just want to sleep, although I want to discuss so many problems. So also I can do one thing that I have already done in my copy. So I'm just showing you question, also answer. I hope that will be helpful for you. So suppose I have discussed the question, I have discussed the question on it. If is find the centroid of the shaded region. This is the region where to find the centroid. Simply what I did is this is centroid. How many shapes are here? Here is firstly it is a semicircle, right? And it is a quadrilateral. It's a quarter circle. We know what is formula of what is area of quarter circle, what is area of semicircle. So I have find it simply area. If area finding बहुत आसान होता है. Main चीज़ comes here, x and y. We have to find this x and y. Then after I have find it something how 4r by 3 pi. So I have find it out, and this then similarly y also. Then after ax means a into x. Then after a into y. So then after summation of it, and I have put it, and we get this answer. Now this is second question. So this is something how I did, and this is another question practice on it. If I am doing that, it will be very lengthy. That's why I am just showing you how I have solved. Now we move on to the center of gravity. Okay, center of gravity, remember here we use it for 3D. So volume of cylinder is pi r square h, and here x is equal to r, y is equal to h by 2. Volume of cone is v is equal to 1 by 3 pi r square h, here x is equal to r, y is equal to h by 4. And volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube, x is equal to r, y is equal to r. And here volume of hemisphere, we have to remember all of this. Volume 2 by 3 pi r cube, and x is equal to r, y is equal to 3r by 8. Then after we have all find it, then the problem is a right circular cone of the base diameter 100 mm and the height of 200 mm is placed on the hemisphere. For the same diameter, calculate the center of the gravity. So simply now we have to calculate. Now diagram we have to draw itself. So we have calculate the center of gravity. So here I have calculated. So that's all. Now here I have discussed some more problems, then moment of inertia also, then all. Okay, so thanks for watching.